Your friendly, unabashed cup cutter. I slice through the turf like warm butter, planting dreams in the grass, one putt under. Your friendly, unabashed cup cutter.
Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly unabashed cup cutter. One of my goals for this podcast is not just going around to golf courses and playing and talking smack and all that stuff. Really, it's about going to golf courses, traveling in the Tampa Bay area with my Volkswagen. When I go to these golf courses, it's not necessarily to talk about the golf course itself, though yes, a lot of people want to know about that, how are the conditions and so forth, but that's not my prime objective when I go to these golf courses. It's to talk to the staff, right? A bunker does not look like a bunker, nice and trimmed without the greenskeepers and the ground maintenance guys, right? Your starter, do you know your starter at your golf course, right? And here at this golf course that you can see here at Heritage Isle, we have a few of them out here that are just amazing, that goes above and beyond to make sure that A, you get out on time and so forth. Do you know them? Do you know your superintendent? Do you know your pro? These are the things why I started this podcast. Again, it's not just to know about the golf course itself, but again, it's the staff. And I hope you guys all do enjoy listening to this, watch this, and get out there and get to know your folks. Because when you're out on that golf course and you see a grounds person cruise on by, don't just ignore them. Wave to them. Say thank you. Get engaged with them because that's what they need. We love that. As myself, as you guys know, I work at Tampa Palms as the primary cup cutter. I engage with the members, I engage with folks, and I know that the other members appreciate that, especially our grounds folks. So with that said, again, I am at Heritage Isle. Those that know me, I used to work here. I left here on good terms. So I'm not surprised that they welcomed me back. So that's a good thing. So for today, I'm going to be talking to a couple of people that work here, right? I'm going to talk to the superintendent and the pro. Now, when I go to these other golf courses, I'm going to try to get whoever's available, right? So I was very fortunate that I got these two amazing people. So you kind of see this cat here in the back. Before I introduce him, I'm going to tell you about him. He is a very charismatic man, right? Charismatic, not just because he's a big guy, right? Just has that presence, that aura, right? It's not just because my mom thinks he's attractive and I had to tell my mom he's married. There goes those free lessons. No, it's not because he was named by Golf Digest 2026 to 27, one of the golf coaches of the year for Florida, right? This guy. It's not because of those things. It's not because of those accolades. It's because of his students, right? I reached out to a few of his students he doesn't know about and asked him, what is it about Chris that you care about, that you love about him, right? It doesn't matter if they're young students or if they're older students, wiser students. It doesn't matter. He has that charisma, that effect on everybody, male and female, young and wise, right? So without further ado, I want to bring out the coach for Heritage Isle, Mr. Chris Allen, aka my dad, maybe. No, Chris Allen, why don't you come on out, baby? Let's get this thing going. Where's my free lessons, baby?
Right. You should have told me that.
Yeah. My mom,
yes, sir.
yeah. So,
I never knew that.
So a little short story. When I brought my mama here, she thought you were very attractive.
Oh my God.
And I had to tell my mom, stop. I mean, you don't need to do his laundry. Don't need to do his laundry. You don't need to make him dinner.
No, happily married.
Yeah, exactly.
Happily married.
Yeah. So,
yep.
So first off, before we get actually into the interview,
sure.
Just again, thank you for taking the time, man.
Oh yeah, you're one of the greats. You're one of the best. We miss you here.
I just miss it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. As you know, I left here on my own personal reasons, but I do
Sure.
love the people here.
Yeah.
You guys,
Thank you.
course. I mean, this is the reason why this is like a hidden gem. People don't realize being a public golf course.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Oh, it's gorgeous, man.
Yeah. Well, the feeling is mutual.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Doubt. Yeah.
No, I really do appreciate it. So before we get started too on the interview, again, congratulations, Golf Digest Coach of the Year for Florida, one of the coaches of the year.
Yeah, it's a list they do every year. I'm not sure how the list works.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people voted me on the list. I'm grateful for that, but it's a list they compile with the top teachers in each state.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful to make the list.
It's amazing.
It's a big surprise.
It speaks volumes about you that, again, the people that I've talked to, I mean, one of them, I'm not going to name names.
You can name names.
No, she wanted me to read out her poem that she wrote for you.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I know
I mean,
that
you know who it is.
Yeah.
She can't, but I mean, it's that type of charisma that you have. That
Oh man, I appreciate
I mean,
it.
someone took the time out of their day, not necessarily thinking about golf or whatever. I'm like, this individual affects me in so many ways. I need to express myself in a poem for this guy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right?
Yeah, really
I almost
nice.
thought about reading it out. I told her,
No.
I know.
Embarrassing.
I know, but still, but that's the thing, though.
Well, I just think, and it's, I'm not gassing you up.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think it's just kind of the way you lived your life out here. You know, you're not everybody's cup of tea,
Nope.
but you try your best to like engage with everybody and just show love and respect everybody.
That's the thing.
And some people will receive that and you'll develop a relationship, and some people won't, and that's okay. You just keep moving.
Yeah.
And we're a busy public course, so we interface with a lot of people.
Of course.
And I heard what you said with the intro, you know, like we never just ride by people on the course.
You guys do. Exactly.
We want everyone here, we feel like it's part of the team.
Especially those regulars that come out, the members. I know, like, name drop the Walkers.
Yeah.
Amazing couple.
Yeah, good people.
They've gone through a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was not one time though where I'm cutting cups, because they're the first ones out.
Sure.
Dave, how you doing? I'm always waving to them, giving. They're just.
And they're not walking.
No,
they're running.
No, they're not.
Running.
Oh, they are 100%.
They're the fastest players you ever seen.
About $1.75 through this course.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But it's that thing about this golf course that I wanted to highlight and wanted to springboard you, not just you guys, but just in general, that this course is amazing. The people, the staff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, that is awesome, man.
So.
Yeah, so again, congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So,
is there an award for the most precision cup cutter in the world?
Man, let me tell you what.
Because I would vote for you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate. It's funny that I initially
are you cutting them on knobs and slopes?
Nope, not even. When I cut a cup, especially now at Tampa Palms.
Yeah.
Which I know they all appreciate, is like if the cup is, if I'm looking down at a cup and I can't see a perfectly circle and there's a little bit, I will recut the cup. I'll take the time. That's where I'm blessed with there. I'll take the extra time to.
Yeah.
I look.
How does that work when you're hungover though?
I don't know
when the cup starts.
Don't even. But the first off, you have to be hungover to do that type of stuff.
Okay, got
it. But hold on.
That
is one thing.
Does the cup still look perfectly round?
Oh man, it's maybe 3 or 4. But no, it's that's the beauty part is that's the beauty part is I don't get hangovers. So a lot of people know me that in my drinking days.
Yeah.
I actually I never get hangovers.
Oh
ever.
My God.
It's a
that
curse.
Should get an award.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It cost me a lot of money. Cost me a lot of money and a lot of tears. But we're all getting better. We're all getting better. But no, so I appreciate it, man. I just take pride in the work.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I mentioned before on a podcast was that on an episode was that there's a lot of golf courses where their cup cutters don't play golf.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't keep in mind of the golfers in mind when they're cutting a cup.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And that is a big issue when it's like, okay.
Well, how would you know where to put a cup?
They don't know. I mean, you can train somebody. Let's just say that, for example, the superintendent here maybe train somebody on how to cut a cup properly.
Right.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll have a bad day, don't give a shit. They're just going to put it whatever.
Yeah.
No, as a golfer myself, I'm like, okay. I bring a ball with me. After I cut the cup, I'm like, okay, that's rolling back. Nope, got to move it.
Yeah.
There's been countless times I'm like, I'll cut a cup. I'm like, okay, I can't put that there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I will make sure that it's in a good spot and so forth. So, but I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I got you always. All right, so let's get about you, though. So, obviously, you're happily married.
Yeah,
you got kids.
3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids.
Yeah, son and 2 daughters.
Awesome, awesome. Do they play golf with you?
No, I never was able to make that happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So I used to bribe my oldest too.
Yeah.
Like with like ice cream and
of course,
like because we didn't have a bunch of sugar drinks and stuff in the house. My wife was really good about that.
That's good.
So I would say, hey, if you come to the range with me, we'll go get some.
Awesome.
We'll go get a Coke or something. Or they used to have in Michigan where I started. They used to have like these Faygo pops, which is like all these different flavors.
Okay.
So it's not just like Coke and Diet Coke. It's like pineapple, orange. So I was like, hey, hit a few balls with me. Maybe work on your putting.
Okay.
We'll go hit up the ice cream spot. Maybe get you a pineapple Faygo.
Yeah. Awesome.
Still didn't work.
Wow.
Yeah. But I tried.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried, and they're doing great in other areas.
Yeah.
So
and they're supportive of you.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. So how did you actually get into golf then yourself? How did you actually ended up How did you
look
end
at
up doing that? Oh, we're gonna get this on here in a little
let's
bit.
go ahead
I
and
mean, look at this little
let's
something,
get
something.
this out of the
Look,
way.
look at all that's gorgeous. So we're gonna
Yeah.
zoom in on this, Dave, or my kids.
Yeah.
Somebody zoom in on it. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
Clean that up with some Photoshop.
Yeah, man.
Make that look better.
But you
for
still
me.
have that charisma, though.
Yeah.
It's still beautiful. That's beautiful,
So
man.
I started. Oh no! Don't do that, man.
Okay.
I started. I was a football player. I was a
You
football
told me the
player.
story.
Yeah,
Yes, please tell everybody they don't know.
Yeah,
Please, yes.
I played football. I played all the sports,
Yep,
just
of
probably
course,
like
yep,
you
yep.
did growing
Hockey.
up.
Yep.
And I was introduced to golf and tennis
Yep.
and soccer. My parents did a great job of letting me try everything. But like where I came from, I'm from Miami,
Yep.
Florida, and where I came from, Tiger Woods wasn't around yet, and it wasn't cool yet. And so even though I liked the sports that I was introduced to, let's just say there was a subtle pressure for a big guy to play football.
Yeah.
So I played high school football in Miami, Killian High School. Shout out to the Cougars. I ended up playing Division I football at a small school in Michigan called Eastern Michigan University in the MAC conference. I met my wife there.
Awesome, beautiful.
Yeah, so we've sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's all good.
Yeah.
How long? Real quick, how long you guys been married?
Oh man, this November is 30 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 30
My man.
years. Yeah, so
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's possible.
But my wife and I just hit 25.
It's just not. Yeah. It just I can't take credit for it. It's mostly like her job.
Yeah, of course.
She did it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I can relate.
Yeah. So I got hurt.
Yeah.
I got hurt and couldn't play anymore. Had my shoulder reconstructed and my ankle reconstructed on my left side. And when I got back, graduated and I went back home. I went back to Miami, and a guy, my parents picked me up at the airport, and right next to the airport there's a golf course called Doral. Trump owns it now, and it's a famous golf course in the area. My parents wanted to do something nice for me, so they took me to lunch there. And I was sitting down eating lunch, and a guy walks up to the table and says, "Hey, I've got a pass. You want to come play the silver course with me?" Back then, Doral had like a blue monster, had a white course, a red course, a gold course, and a silver course. And so he said, "I got a pass. You want to play the silver?" I said, "Man, I don't even have clubs anymore." This guy, out of nowhere, didn't know him, just walked up to the table. And so I said, "Yeah, I do." He says, "I live right on like the fourth hole. I'll drive the cart over there and pick up an extra set for you." And that was kind of like the skies opening up and God telling me, like this is where you need to go. So it got me back in to golf, and I took a deep dive. Everything I do, I've tried to do it my best.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was a good player, but not a great player. I mean, I was good. I would say good enough to maybe compete in small tournaments or local events.
Okay.
But I really, to be honest with you, I just didn't know back then how to handle the nerves.
Yeah.
And I kind of pull from my failings as a player, and I've tried to understand breathing. I've tried to understand like how the best players in the world control their heart rate, how they control the tension in their body,
of course,
and how they repeat under pressure. So I've done deep dives into that, and I try to help my players with that. And especially if I can get a junior player to understand how their breathing cadence controls their heart rate or helps to control their heart rate, and how they can focus on the target and block out distractions and just execute one shot at a time. I'll even tell them, "Hey, look, this is where I couldn't do it." And you would watch me in a practice round and you'd be like, "Wow, this guy can really play." And then when the pressure got a little bit too much, I just wasn't great at handling that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I realized that I was maybe better suited as a coach.
Yeah.
And then when I started coaching and teaching, it was like instant, like fulfillment.
There it is. Awesome.
And I actually get more pleasure,
of course,
out of seeing like you go and shoot your best round than trying to go do it myself now.
I mean, you affect so much more people than just yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you can be all glorified about yourself. I did this or whatever, but now you affected again. I mean,
that's a big part of it. And then when I look back and I say, man, the men that I really respected the most were all coaches.
Yeah.
So in a way, I've always wanted to coach and teach.
Wow.
And a quick story, when I finished at Eastern with the like football, and I was injured and I couldn't keep going, my father-in-law now, at the time, he took me to one of the coaches conventions in Orlando, and we were going into one of the sessions, and Bobby Washington, who at the time was Nick Saban's assistant coach at Michigan State, he walks up to me and says, listen, I need a graduate assistant. I've talked to your coaches that you played for, and I need a sharp guy that can pick up our offense. And I need somebody that can help me recruit the South. And I was just like, okay.
Wow.
He said, but I can't pay you. He said, you'll be a graduate assistant. I could pay for your grad school, but I can't pay you. And at the time, like, I was just out of school. I was married. Like, we had nothing. I remember we had this 1995 Toyota 4Runner. Everything Cena and I owned fit in that 4Runner. And I just couldn't wrap my head around living in married housing in Lansing. And, you know, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
But at the time, I just wasn't seeing it clear.
Wow.
So, and I had the perfect wife for it, because her dad was a Division I basketball coach for 37 years. He's a famous basketball coach in several Hall of Fames. Coach Gary Waters, a Nike Elite coach, USA basketball coach, Coach Carmelo Anthony, and Chris Bosh on the USA basketball team when they were building up.
Yep.
And Darren Williams was on that team.
Wow.
You name it. Tons of guys you would know. And he says, when you get back home, he said, I'll be home. I'll be back in Michigan at Michigan State in a week. Give me a call. So I called him and I said, Coach Washington, I can't do it. I just need to make an income. It's just me and my wife, and I know you can't pay me, and I appreciate the offer, but I just can't do it. So he said, no problem. And they probably moved on to somebody else. So that was probably late July, early August of this one year, right? I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
So January, I'm sitting in our little 1-bedroom apartment, and it's January 1st, and the Outback Bowl comes on right here in Tampa. We weren't living here in Tampa at the time, but the Outback Bowl.
Yep.
And it's Michigan State versus Florida Gators. And Bobby Washington runs out on the field with this Michigan State Spartans, and it says interim head coach, because Nick Saban had just taken the job at LSU. And I was like, oh my God, like, I blew that one.
Wow.
So I called up Coach Waters, my wife's dad, and I was like, man, I really missed on that one. He said, well, you would have been his guy, right? Because you would have been the guy he brought in. He would have developed you.
Yeah.
He didn't last at Michigan State, but like, there's a real fraternity within coaches.
Okay.
And Nick Saban brought him to LSU.
Wow.
He ended up going with Saban to the Dolphins. And after the Dolphins, he went with Saban to Alabama. So I always looked at that like that was the one opportunity I really missed on. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
regret.
Yeah, a little bit of regret. A little bit of regret. But I'm not like, I didn't know if I could. I knew I was smart enough to pick up offensive schemes, and I knew how to coach not just the tight end position, but other positions, wide receiver position. I just didn't know, like, the coaches that I had up to that point, they were all like get in your face, scream at you, grab your face mask guys.
Tracking, yeah.
And I didn't think that was me, because you've known
me.
Yeah.
You're not. I can't see you.
I try not to raise.
Pick up that club.
Yeah. I can't do that shit. That's not me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't even like to raise my voice.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the guys out here call me the swing whisperer. It's a compliment, but it's just because I tend to and I just didn't know if I had the whole vibe on me to really get in that locker room full of grown men.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you know, I found my spot.
Yeah.
And when I started coaching golf, I reached out to Andy Plummer.
Okay.
And Andy Plummer I think he's the smartest man in golf coaching. Um, at one point, him and Mike Bennett, who was his partner that they taught with,
Okay.
at one point they taught many of the guys that you would know on the tour. Steve Elkington,
Wow.
Charlie Wee, Aaron Baddeley. I mean, the number is huge numbers of guys that they helped
Yeah.
on the tour. And I reached out to him in an email, and I reached out to other coaches too. But to Andy's credit, he was the only one that returned my email. And I kind of gave him my background. I gave him my bio, and I said, "Hey, I'm an okay player, right? I shoot under par. I've shot under par. I can go around my home course and play nice golf. I want to really understand the system for teaching golf." And he returned email back to me, and he was very kind to me. It was very encouraging. He's like, "Man, you're the prototype." He said, "Come down to Miami with me and spend a day with me." And so I drove down to Miami, and the story is, I'm probably getting a little too
Nope.
personal.
You take as much time as you need, my man.
The
Take as much
story
time as
is,
you need.
I went down to spend a day with Andy, and to get into the network, the Stack and Tilt network that
I
I'm a
was actually
part
gonna.
of,
I have a
yeah,
few questions
is to
about
get
that. Yep.
into get
Yep.
into the network. To take the first seminar, it was just like a one-time thing, but I remember it was $895, and I just remember that was like the biggest number in the world to us.
Yeah.
And I just remember asking my wife, like, "Hey, can I do it?"
Yeah. Of course.
She was like, "Let's put it on the credit card. Let's
Yeah.
do it."
Yeah.
You know.
She saw the passion in you. She know that
Yeah.
this could. I mean, it's feeding your fire to helping
Yeah.
people in the sport that you've grown to love.
Yeah. And at the time, I was helping some people, but I didn't really have a way to organize all my information into a real structured system.
Gotcha.
And that's what I saw when I was watching Andy's players. When you watch those guys and the guys who are coached from the coaches that he's trained,
Okay.
I was seeing like there's a systematic approach to their ball striking. They have that ball under control.
And that's funny that you just say that, because that's a quote that I have from you that I can't remember where I read it from. I believe it says, "I do this by giving the students science-based, systematic, proven information,
Yeah.
not just random tips."
Yes. I hate that word tips.
Yeah. I think it's funny that because being older, I haven't had a lesson or anything besides YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? And so what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm looking for random shit. Maybe is this going to work for me today? Not today. Let's get back to something else.
You go through this Rolodex.
It sucks, man. It sucks. But I mean, so that's where
so I don't do that. So I know where to start.
Yep.
I know where I'm going next.
Yep.
And I've got a system to produce a certain shot.
And
no matter what the shot the player wants to hit,
gotcha.
I can show that I can reverse engineer that shot and show them how to do it.
So what that said then, so what's this stack and tilt instructor? Let's talk about that then.
So it's a very misunderstood system.
Okay.
Right. So for a long time, it was vilified online in the forums because a lot of the stuff that Andy and Mike were teaching were going against the current of what the teachers at that time, the big name guys at that time, were teaching. And now that we have all the technology to measure the swing, and we have systems like Gears, which has 9 cameras and has a sensor on every joint, and they can trace the shaft and the club head and every joint in the body, plus or minus a half a millimeter. I mean, it's really accurate. Now that we can track everything, Andy and Mike were right? So back in the day when they were getting killed online and all the people were just trying to destroy them on the forum, saying stuff that's not true, like they've been proven to be right.
Yep.
And really all it's a system for playing golf. It's a 3-dimensional model of the swing. So all it is basically taking from, just say, like taking a spectrum of players, like an older player like Bobby Jones or Hogan or Snead, all the way to Tiger Woods or any modern player.
Yep.
And it's finding the patterns.
Okay.
It's finding the similarities, not the outlier. And so that with the average guy, or maybe the untrained eye, may look at 2 swings side by side and they'll say, wow, they look totally different. But when you've been trained correctly, you see more similarities than differences.
I see.
So I identify the similarities. And Andy used to say, because Andy learned directly from Mac O'Grady, and that's a whole different podcast.
Okay. Yep.
And But Andy used to say to me, which he got from Mac, was if you find the patterns, you unlock the code.
Wow.
If you find the pattern, you unlock the code. So you're not looking for that one little piece, like this one little dot on the surface of the moon. You're trying to find the patterns, the similarities. And so that's why when a player comes to take a lesson, it doesn't take me long to kind of find out which joint's not performing its function. And I didn't have to be an amazing pro player to do that.
Wow.
I just needed to be trained. So I can trace every joint on the camera at throughout the time and space of the swing and know when which body part's not performing its function. We can isolate that in a drill, and then when we plug it back in, the player doesn't feel like the whole thing has been revamped.
So with that being said, the fact that I haven't had a lesson from you yet, but I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be in the near future.
Yeah, we got to do one.
I'm broken.
We should actually film that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be a blast.
Yeah, we should actually film
I have my cronies, I have my rotating co-hosts that come with me.
Yeah.
We do shit together,
Yeah,
and I'm sure they would love to watch me fucking.
yeah, we'll have a great time.
So with that being said, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm broken on certain, like I can't twist a certain way.
Yeah.
I can't. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries.
Yeah, yeah,
So with somebody that has issues physically,
Yeah.
you can still.
Sure, yeah.
Awesome.
But, yeah, that's not a problem. But I'm watching for that. When you're walking up to me, I'm watching your gait. I'm watching how your arms hang, watching your posture.
Wow.
When you pick up the club to start warming up for those first 5 or 6 shots that you're hitting, I'm watching.
You're just watching.
I'm asking a few questions. Hey, Dave, what sports did you play? Any injuries? Let me ask you this. When you do this with your wrist or your shoulder, is there any impingement there, any blockages, anything that feels
the
tight?
science part that you talked about.
Yeah, so because now I need to factor that into the recommendations I make to you. So I'm not going to ask you to do something you can't do.
Not that random shit.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the problem why the general overall handicap for players hasn't really lowered. Even though we have TikTok and YouTube and everything else, the overall handicaps aren't getting lower because players are watching a video and you don't know which piece really applies to you. You see what I mean? You're just like, oh, this looks cool. Let me add that. And maybe that's not what you needed. Then the next question is, how much of that piece did you need? Because one of your buddies might need a lot of it. You might just need like a real small amount. So you got to know how much they offer.
You know how much time you just saved me?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to unbookmark a whole bunch of shit on YouTube, man. Let me tell you what,
now,
man.
there's some good stuff on there. I got some friends on there.
Of course. But you make a good
shout out a couple of my friends.
But you make a very good point.
Yeah, they still need you. Even though you can get the, like.
Of course.
Even though you can get some.
Of course.
Like, so you might come to me and say, hey, Chris, man, I saw this great video on YouTube. It told me to do that. And I might say, yeah, Dave, that's exactly what you need.
Okay, yeah.
Or I might say, hey, man, be careful with that because you don't really need any more of that. You don't need to turn more. What you need is to tilt more.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. So it's systematic in its approach. So I'm not just throwing advice out there and hoping something sticks.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I'm going to move this out of the way.
Yeah, it's all good. That'll get edited out. Your son will take care of that.
Something's going to happen with it. No, it's like, so now we're just going to fly by the wheel because that was my...
that was all we got?
That was all, no.
We got some more?
No, I'm going to come up with some other stuff.
Oh, okay.
No, so then what's that, talk about your trainings that you have with that type of stack. What's that other certification that you have though?
Scott Cowx.
Okay, yeah.
So Scott's a smart instructor. He's based in Canada. And at the time, this was during COVID, and you really couldn't go to any seminars. Okay. And I try to do like 3 or 4 a year.
Okay.
And the great thing about Andy was he would say, hey, Chris, you can check my schedule. If you see that I'm booked up and he might have tour players there, I could just come and watch.
Yeah.
So I used to be off on Tuesdays and Sundays, and I would just get in my car and I would drive across the state and I'd just shadow guys.
Yeah.
I would just work the camera.
Yeah.
And maybe watch them do 5 or 6 hours of teaching. And then maybe we'd go to dinner or lunch afterwards. And that's when I'd ask my question.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I'd say, hey, can you help me understand why you did that drill? Or why didn't you fix that player's grip? Well, that grip wasn't holding them back. The grip wasn't the issue.
Oh.
Right. So everyone automatically thinks that it's right away. It's grip, stance, and alignment. It's not always that. It's so because grip, stance, and alignment are important, but they're variable. They're not a fundamental.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a provocative statement there. And the way that I prove it out, and as I would say, if me and you went to the Valspar, right?
which I'm going to caddy again this
Oh
coming year.
yeah, so that would be
It's
So
retarded.
if we and you went to the Valspar, and say we went on a Thursday morning, and there's 50 guys on the range for the morning wave, we would see 50 slightly different grips. We would, and we would see 50 slightly different ways of standing or aligning to the target. So if we have Dustin Johnson
Yeah.
or Rory McIlroy with their left hand turned 70 degrees on the club, but right next to them, you got Bryson DeChambeau or John Rahm with their left hand almost off the club. Which one do I teach? Right? It's important, and I have to know what shot they want to hit, but I can't just automatically make a recommendation because grip is a variable.
Yeah.
Grip is a variable. So stance. Hold on, Jerry, we're doing a podcast.
Oh, it's okay. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
No, sir, you're good.
Yeah,
sir, you're totally fine.
Okay, all right, we'll edit that out. We'll edit that part out.
My pleasure. No worries at all.
No problem.
It's all good. No worries.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah. So so in the same, right, we might see Jordan Spieth aiming 20 yards right of his target, and then right next to him we might see Matthew Wolff take a live guy, and he's aiming 30 yards left of his target. Which one do I teach? And then just to use Bryson and Matthew Wolff, the COVID US Open at Winged Foot, in the final group, you had you had Matthew Wolff and Bryson DeChambeau, right? And you have Bryson DeChambeau almost standing vertically with his arms locked out like this.
I don't get it.
And then you've got Matthew Wolff with his arms hanging down below his knees with that toe off the ground, that face open. So they're both in the final group. They're both excellent players.
Totally.
Which one do you teach, right?
Wow.
So you have to know what is a variable and what is a fundamental. So I think that the fundamentals, I call them, because I got this from Andy and another teacher named David Tarashi, he's in Philadelphia. He's helping Charles Howell III now on the Live Tour and many other players.
Wow.
And David will be down here soon. So I hope maybe that would be a cool guy.
That would be awesome just to talk. Absolutely.
So he travels the tour like probably 40 weeks out of the year and helps tour players, Champions Tour players, PGA Tour players, Live players. And the dynamic fundamentals, the ones that I would say are fundamental, meaning they would be statistically demonstrated 100% with the best players in the world, male or female, without fail. And I would say that would be low point control, being able to hit the ball first and then the ground, and hit the ground in the same place every time. Control of your low point, contact.
Yep.
We just wouldn't see at the Valspar, me and you walk out to par 3, and we just won't see a player hitting it 2 inches fat. You just don't. You just don't see it.
Wow.
So the best players in the world can control their low point. They can hit the ball, then the ground, and their dispersion of hitting the ground is very tight.
But I mean, you're talking that these guys are hitting thousands of balls a day.
Yeah, but then even without hitting thousands of balls, I can show you how to control that. What parts of the swing control that, right?
Wow.
And then most of my work would be in fundamental number 2, which I'd say control of the curve. What makes the ball draw? What makes the ball fade?
Yeah.
How much curve do you want? And how would we control that? You can control that. And the best players in the world have an expected ball flight before they even pull the club back. They're not guessing. So I'd show the players how to do that.
Wow.
And then power would be the third fundamental, meaning you need enough ball speed or enough distance to be able to play the course in a reasonable amount of strokes. You don't need to hit it 320 if you're just out here with your boys playing from the white tees.
Yeah.
But you need enough power to play the course, where you can have fun.
Of course.
So, but what parts of the swing, what pieces of the swing are responsible for power? Right? And the player needs to know that. And then how much does that player need?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I'm telling you what, because I know we're getting pressed for time for your appointment that you have to get to in a little bit.
Yeah, we're good. We're 15 minutes.
It's the fact that man, we could talk about this shit.
Yeah, and I actually love talking about it. Yeah. So that's why when you reached out to me, I was like, sure. Yeah. You know.
It's just icing on the cake. That again, you've got.
You got the icing on the cake. The recognition, which more than anything, it's just an encouragement.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like, you mentioned passion a couple of times. You put so much into it. Like, it's really bad with me. Like, I teach all day. Yeah. I take a shower and eat, and then I'm looking at swings all night. you know, just training my eye to different
Yeah.
pieces. I want to know where the shaft should be at a certain place, how to line it up
Wow.
with the joints, because I want to be able to help people.
You just don't get enough.
I never want to be able to, I never want to be the guy that just throws out something like your grip pressure is too tight or your tempo's off or roll the wrist and flip the toe.
Well, you're just guessing what to get.
Yeah,
You're not.
it's BS.
You're
It's a Band-Aid. I never want to do that.
Wow.
I always just wanted to, even if we don't have like amazing success off the first ball.
Yeah, of course, of
right?
course.
I just want the player to know, okay, this is why the ball is going right. This is how you fix it,
Okay.
and this is how you practice it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
So I want them to leave with something real. That's the science-based part.
Of course.
Like, I don't want you with this like imaginary tempo thought, because you wake up, depending on how you feel that day, your body's going to feel different.
Yeah.
We're all different.
Yeah.
Right. So I want you, when you're on the range warming up for your round and you're with your boys at Calusa Country Club and you really want to play well, I want you to be able to know if the ball's not doing what you're supposed to do, like what are the pieces that you can do to go on that first tee and control that ball that day. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's some.
Yeah.
I kid you not that I'm excited to start betting again.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is I don't bet my boys' money anymore because I saw it.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Donations.
No, I can't. I don't know how many shoes I bought because I bet. You know, this month.
Yeah,
What I'm getting at is I am so excited to eventually have that. Get the lesson from you, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like this might work for me today. I'm not feeling great this time,
Sure.
whatever it may be, and
Yeah.
I'm because I played hockey my whole life, right?
Yeah.
I just know I just got to use power.
Right.
Obviously, in golf, you don't.
Yeah.
That's
so I would ask you, where does the power come from?
Well, it's all in the hips, and then it's.
But then I would say, no, it's not. Right. So now that we can measure it, I know that 65 to 70% of the power is coming from the arms and the shoulders, and only 20% is coming from the hips. Right. So maybe with that thought in mind, maybe you might be overdoing something that you don't need to overdo. Right. And if we could just find out how much you need to do and how to meter it out with the right amount, you might just. Wow. It might just click for you. That's what I mean about how I wanted to be able to help somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make everyone look the same on the camera.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you look just like Ernie Els.
My swing's my swing, but let's tweak it.
So that we can perform these three fundamentals. How can you control your low point, control your curve, and have enough power to play the course?
Man.
Yeah. Because if it was just power, we might build a different model.
Gotcha. Tracking. Okay.
Right, because the long drive guys, they just have to hit a grid that's 100 yards wide, a football field.
Yeah.
But you got to step up on the first tee here at Heritage and hit between those bunkers that's 25 yards wide.
100, yeah.
So how do you control that? Right. And so that's what I want people to see.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I want to help.
That's how you want to help.
Yeah.
And again, it just speaks volume with and how much your passion is for helping.
Yeah.
Again, I may or may not edit that out. That gentleman came over here just to say hi.
Yeah.
Because you have that effect on people.
Thank you, man.
I don't know if I should edit that out.
Yeah.
I understand.
Edit it because I'm gonna look like a jerk. Because I thought I was gonna mess up.
I'm
man,
like,
hey, come on. Don't you see these cameras right here?
You were like, nope. Maybe I'll play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that just
was I aggressive?
No, man, you did great. You did fabulous. So that last thing I want to ask you before, so now that
we need more time.
Oh, 100%. But now that I'm such more intrigued about it, how would myself or somebody get in touch with you to get a lesson from you? Where do they need to go?
So number one, all right, I'm a big failure at the social media. I'm gonna do better.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna do better. Yeah.
Sir, I would tag you, press each message you.
Right.
Chris, man, come on now.
But in a way, it also like the fact that like I'm not all over the place.
True. Oh, 100%.
Right? I'm not overexposing myself.
Of course. Nope.
So I got to find that balance. I got to find that sweet spot. But
do they just call do they call the pro shop?
Yeah, most people do. And then there's a link that I send everyone. Everyone books using a link.
Well, easily I can put that on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and then we could just send that link there. It's a Calendly link. It's just a scheduling app.
Perfect.
And then they can book whenever they want. I'm here, I'm here 12, 13 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's because you love it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I love working on a golf course. I love being outside. I love it. But no, so Chris, again, thank you very much,
Oh, man, it was
for
my
being
pleasure.
on this.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it
You're
so
one of the,
very much.
You're one of the good guys.
I'm
out
just
here.
a guy, bro.
No,
I'm just a
you're
guy, but
you're one of the
yeah,
good
I'll make
guys.
sure I'll put that on there.
And get this thing going so I can get some
dude,
notoriety.
absolutely. Oh, 100%, baby. 100%. So, folks, I hope you did enjoy this interview that I had with Chris Allen. I'm sure he will not be, no, this will not be his only time on here.
No.
I know we're going to find something.
Yeah, we got to do it
Maybe
again.
when this gets monetized, maybe I'll take you to Hawaii. I don't know. Maybe I need to listen to Hawaii, baby. I'm just saying, I'll take a family.
If we're going to do it, we need to do it in Hawaii.
100%, man. I'm just saying, if it gets big, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
But Chris, thanks again. Folks,
Yeah,
thank you for listening in. Please like and subscribe if you do. And again, this has been your friendly unabashed
Your
cup
friendly unabashed cup cutter. I slice through the turf like warm butter, planting dreams in the grass, one putt under. Your friendly unabashed cup cutter.